First of all, thank you for the role of scarecrow today. I'll be the one the bearer of bad news, and I'll try to do it as slowly as possible in a couple of minutes and really give you the focus on what the number one perception of security incident is in relation to crypto and the end users itself. So if we look at the blockchain itself as user interaction, you must really understand one thing. There is nothing else but the private key as compared to your public key that you have to keep securely in your possession and never ever expose it to anybody else. So in short, your only mission is just one. The mission is to keep your private key safe. And if you look at the screen, you can see that your secret on this, well, that's actual Bitcoin wallet on this screen, as you can see. Your private key is just a string. It's just a long string of 64 characters and numbers and nothing else. And you can also see the public address. The public address is also just a random bunch of characters. And that's it. So any crypto wallet, any exchange, anything related to crypto deals with those two keys. The share key is the key that you have to give to somebody to receive crypto or send crypto or request crypto. And the secret key is the key that you use to sign every operation you are trying to do on the blockchain. And based on this signature, then the rest of the blockchain will know that you are indeed the owner of this wallet. And that's it. Basically, there is nothing else but the private key that you have to keep safely. The problem is that keeping that safely is the biggest problem, right? So one of the biggest questions that people always have is who is the owner of the actual private key? Well, if you are using any software crypto wallet, or if you are using any hardware crypto wallet, then probably you are, because the private key is in your possession, is on your device, or on your mobile phone, for example, if you're using the software wallet, where if you have your crypto on an exchange, of course, you don't hold the private key because, well, exchange holds the private key to the wallet. And then the most important thing we're gonna talk about today are the attack vectors. So where do the problems come from? Number one, supply chain basically means that somebody gave you a malicious device that looks like a crypto wallet. Everything feels pristine, but maybe somebody did something with electronics and something like that. So how do you avoid that? Well, simply you buy by a trusted source. Don't buy crypto wallets on secondary market, for example. Number two, the software itself. So no matter which kind of crypto wallet you are using, there's some kind of software related to this wallet. And maybe somebody could trick you into using the wrong software, which we will see later is quite common with some wallets. And then we have the hardware attacks, where I'm able to maybe plug a USB man-in-the-middle device into your computer, and then whatever goes through this USB port will be sniffed, will be watched, and will be sent to somebody, for example. Or maybe somebody did gain access to your keyboard and can sniff all your keys. So whenever you're typing in the passwords, well, somebody else sees the password, right? And the most important, as we will see, and the most vulnerable one is the humble user, or of course, this is you. You using the crypto, you using the crypto wallet, sending money, receiving money, whatever. This is the biggest threat that can actually happen, if you ask me. Well, let's look at this biggest threat which is you, the actual user. From the perspective of computers, I think that we all can agree that security researchers, security evangelists always claimed that the weakest link in a chain was the user. So if you look at phishing, recent exploits as crypto viruses and so on, the user had to be tricked to run this malicious code first. Usually, there are some zero-day exploits that were remotely executable without user doing anything, but usually in most of the situation, the user itself is the weakest link, and he has to do or she has to do a mistake. So, as we already mentioned, one of the biggest problems in the terms of the source is you buy a secondary crypto wallet which, well, might have been compromised. So to avoid that, go to a reputable website or directly to a producer and buy your crypto wallet there, or download the software wallet that you are 100% sure is the software wallet from the company you are trying to download from. Then the infected desktop. This simply means that your operating system is already infected. So some kind of virus, some kind of malware is already on your computer, and this malware will try to exploit your crypto dealings. And then we have man-in-the-middle attack, which is quite interesting attack because you will never notice it if you are not careful enough. As you might know, the crypto addresses, the public addresses which you have to use to send crypto to somebody are really long strings with a lot of characters and numbers. And if you are not really careful, there are viruses out there that change the address. So you might copy the address from the email, and then in the copy paste buffer, this address will be changed to somebody else. So you always have to double check on the hardware crypto wallet if you are sending the money to the right address, because your computer might show something else. And then we have the phishing thing, which is basically related to previous point. Also, all kind of phishing attacks might happen where somebody will try to trick you to do something, like download wrong software, expose certain information, ask you for your private info, and so on. And then, of course, as we already mentioned, attack might happen between your computer and between the hardware crypto wallet, for example. So somebody might mangle with a USB, Bluetooth, or Wi-Fi, for example. This is why for really secure things, we don't really advise you to use Bluetooth and things like that that could be easily sniffed. Users do make mistakes, right? So as already mentioned, don't mix things up. If you will send Bitcoin to a Bitcoin cash address, for example, well, there's a way to save that, but generally speaking, you might lose all your money. So don't mix up different currencies and different addresses. And then some kind of services request that you use a third-party website. So you might have something in your browser might be vulnerable, you might have a wrong website open. For example, you are trying to go to My Ether Wallet, and then you open myetherwallets.com, which is malicious site, and you will be tricked to expose certain information you shouldn't, as we will see right now. And then, of course, users do forget. So we have seen, especially in the early years of crypto, that users did create Bitcoin wallets, and they simply lost the data which is required to access them again. So they did lose the passwords, the pins, the private keys, whatever, forever. I mean, you don't have the password, that's it, game over. Your funds are for somebody to be claimed when he will randomly generate the same wallet address, for example. And of course, this also happened. Users did create wrong transactions where instead of sending a lot of money, they typed in the numbers in the wrong field and instead paid huge amount of transaction fees. So, and least but not last, the backup issues, which I will touch right now, which are the most common exploit for everybody holding crypto right now, using a bunch of devices that use one common algorithm for backups. We can surely agree that user, based on everything heard, is the #1 risk reason for your crypto. And if you look at the deck picture, which was, this slide was made yesterday. So what you are looking at, all this information is not even 1 day old, because as you can see, Ledger has a pinned Twitter post warning you that there's huge amount of scammers trying to scam you out of your 24 words. Then you have the Trezor post claiming the same. Then you have post from Crypto Godfather, which is not even, I think, 20 hours old, claiming that somebody hacked a Trezor wallet of his friend, and this wallet was never connected for 130 days and so on. The problem is that all these wallets have 24 seed words algorithm. So when you generate or activate your device, you generate 24 words. And that 24 words are your backup. And that's not encrypted. So anybody gets these 24 words, he or she will have access to all your wallets you have right now. But what's even worse, they will have access to all your wallets which you will use in the future. Because with 24 words by BIP39, BIP44, all your wallets are linked to the same tree, to the same 24 words. And what happens, as we can see in the case of different scenarios on the screen, is that malicious actors will try to trick you into giving them those 24 words. And they are really, really, really innovative with that. As you can see here, there is a Ledger recovery sheet, which doesn't exist, that was shipped with Ledger devices to users, and users didn't know that those 24 words have to be generated randomly. They just use the words as they were in the box, put into the box by a hacker. So hacker already had those words and just waited that some user used the same words, generated the same wallets, and sent some money to them. Once the money arrives, the hackers will strike. And this is the most scary thing, that you might even forget that somebody had a chance to get those 24 words. So this is why in our case, we said, no, that's not what we want to do for our users, because it's too vulnerable. First of all your wallets are linked to these 24 words. So somebody might steal that and just wait 6 months that you have really a lot of crypto on those wallets, and then he will strike and get your crypto. This is why we have created a completely different system where the backups are still encrypted. Even if somebody would steal your backup, you still have to use all the passwords and all the pins to unlock the device, to unlock the backups. And what's most important, they don't include future wallets. So whatever wallet you will create next month, next day, next week, it's not in the backups. So potential attacker has no access to your future wallets whatsoever and wherever. And also, the most important thing, there is no way to gain access to those backups remotely. So it's not possible for attacker to just get to hack your computer and somehow get the files of your device, because even if you want to create the backup, you have to physically confirm the backup creation on the device itself by yourself. So that's it, guys. I mean, I cannot emphasize it enough. If you are using a crypto wallet that has 24 seed words, don't ever expose those 24 words to anybody. Those are everything you have between you and the hacker. That's it for me. 15 minutes passed. Thank you very much, Tanya. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Oh, yes, we have a question. Please, Alen, stay here, because Enes is asking a question. He's saying that the cold wallets such as Ledger, Trezor are always updating itself, and people who are new in blockchain and cryptocurrencies are usually not literate enough to protect their assets in such devices. Mm-hmm. Even if they can, those updates can cause a problem. So how should an individual educate himself to protect his assets? What does he or she have to know?
As already mentioned, the number one important thing is to understand what you are actually protecting, right? So with crypto wallet, you must understand you are protecting your private keys. Once you get that, once you get the idea that you are protecting a string, and of course, in case of those mentioned wallets, the 24 words, you must understand that you never ever type the 24 words into any website or anything, really, because there is no need to. There are a couple of small percentage of situations where you would have to do that, but let's not mention that right now. And the other thing is, if your device crashes, for example, you would have to reinitialize the device itself with those 24 words. But the thing is that once you comprehend what you are protecting, it will be easier for you, because whatever happens, whatever upgrade procedure you are following, just understand that never ever in 99.8% should anybody ask you for those 25 words. So if you are not really sure and there is somebody claiming that you have to type in those 24 words, stop. Reach out to support of particular wallet. It doesn't matter who that is. Reach out to official support, use the official channel, and ask them, inquire about whether that's right or no. So whenever you're in doubts, stop. Never ever give such information out.
Thank you very much, Alen, for answering this, and thank you for the great presentation.
Thank you.